the Golden Snail Award goes to... Hey guys, what's up? It's Dan Booknook Noggin, and I want to do something a little bit different. I know I've been promising doing more bookshelf tours, so I figured why not? Let's do another one. Okay, these are some shelves I have on my back porch. Yes, I am weird. I have bookshelves built into my back porch. First up we have John Lydon, Rotten. One thing you guys probably do not know about me is I like to read biographies of musicians, and I was really into the Sex Pistols when I was a teenager. If you haven't seen it yet, there is a show on FX, which is on Hulu. In the US, it's on Hulu. It's called Pistols. It's really well produced. I love the way it's kind of really artsy, the way they montage the scenes and stuff like that. Up next we have Galapagos by Kurt Vonnegut. I'm a big Vonnegut fan. I have not read everything he has written. Like, for instance, I have not read Galapagos yet. And I have not read this John Lydon biography either. Next up we have some college textbooks. I do have a degree in hardware, software, like help desk type stuff, guide to firewalls and VPNs. Like, this is kind of boring stuff. You guys probably don't care about seeing this. Like, guide to Unix and Linux. Like, I find very boring. If you know anything about programming, I'm not a programming person, and then how to program C. Up next we have The Wind in the Willows. This is a very, very old copy. I don't know. I've never read it. I don't know if I have any intentions of reading it. Sometimes I just buy books just to resell them. And I think that was one I had purchased to resell. Up next we have Naked Lunch. This is the restored text by William S. Burroughs. I DNF'd this. I'm thinking about maybe revisiting it and trying to finish it. There was a scene involving people and little boys. It was like a pedophilic kind of scene, and it was really disturbing. And I was like, nope, I'm noping out of this book. Up next we have All the Pretty Horses by Cormac McCarthy. That's another book that I've yet to read, and I think I have 2 copies of this. I think the other version is something different. It might be a different variant cover. And then Jack Kerouac, Big Sur, J.G. Ballard, Crash, and I'll let you know if I've read a book. Some of these they're unread. Dean Koontz, Odd Thomas. I've yet to read any Dean Koontz yet. The City of Embers, or City of Ember. I saw the movie, and I know it's YA, and YA is not really my thing, but I saw the movie, and I was like, you know what, the book might be good, so I figured I would check it out. The Help by Catherine Stockett. I've had this, like, forever. Loved the film, but have yet to read the book. Anne Rice's Merrick. We got Stephen King's Bag of Bones, and this used to be a library copy, so I should probably take that sticker off of there. Stephen King's The Green Mile. It's the complete, and it's in a paperback. I have not read that yet. I did see an opportunity to purchase the individual chapters, because I know he released them like very slowly over time. But I was like, you know what? I'd rather have that all in one. Nirvana, The Day by Day, Eyewitness Chronicles. I did read this. I don't remember what I thought of it. It's been a while. I think it was okay. Then we've got Robert E. Howard, The Coming of Conan the Cimmerian. And I don't remember if this one... I have a couple of these books that are Conan, and I read one of them. I just don't remember if it was that one. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. I have not read that yet. We've got War and Peace, The Rise and Fall of Empires. I'm big into history, so that's kind of why I purchased that. Jasper Ford, The Air Affair, I don't know. I picked this up on a whim, and I've had it for a very, very, very long time. At one time when I first started my channel, because the whole booktube was just saturated with YA, I think I picked this up. And I don't think I'm ever going to read it, so maybe I should like donate that to a little free library or something, because I don't think I'm ever going to read it. Especially if it's YA and if it's about Jane Eyre, which I'm not really interested in at all. Harry Turtledove, The End of the Beginning. Yeah, I like alternate history, so that's kind of interesting. Sex slaves, believe it or not, human trafficking, slavery is still alive and well in this day and age, unfortunately, so that's why I got that. I got a paperback version of Galapagos. I'm guaranteeing you I probably bought that and didn't even remember that I had a hardcover. I know that's probably what happened with that instance. X-rated Bloodsuckers. I am a sucker for vampire fiction, so that's why I picked that up. Plus, it sounds hot, so it might be interesting. Terry Pratchett, Neil Gaiman's Good Omens. I've had this quite a while. I have not seen the Prime show yet. I don't know if I will ever get around a chance to watching that. I probably should. I've got so many shows that I'm streaming that, or I want to stream, so it's kind of, yeah, it's all up in the air. Down below a little bit, I'm only going to show you a little bit of this shelf, because most of this shelf is just stuff that I just have, like, random books, I think, on this shelf. Like, older books. We got Irvin Welsh, the Marabou Stork Nightmares. I've heard people say that one was really good. I've had it for a while. It's kind of rare to find Irvin Welsh books around here. You don't really have them at the Barnes & Nobles around here, and when I find them in thrift stores, I snatch them up because they are so rare and so hard to find around here. Girl Interrupted, love the film. I have yet to read the book. Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. This is one of those instances where you don't really care for the author's lifestyle or his beliefs, but I like his writing. And his favorite writing by that I really enjoyed, he had this one called Past Watch, was time travel and Christopher Columbus, and that was really interesting. And I really enjoyed his Seventh Son series, which he never finished. He did 6 books, and he was supposed to write 7 of them to complete that. Never came to fruition. I don't know what happened to it. Steppenwolf by Hermann Hassey. I have not read anything by this author. I know that I ain't finna read it. He's read Hess, and I don't know if he read Steppenwolf or not. But yeah. Robert Heinlein's Job, A Comedy of Justice. I've read Heinlein before, but I've not read this one. Terry Brooks, The Legends of Shannara. They gave this to me because they thought I might enjoy it. I don't know if I'm going to read it. We got Tolkien, Lord of the Rings. This is the all 3 books in one. It's pretty massive, and it took a long time for me to read. Very, very, very much like too many details, I guess you could say. And then we got Long After Midnight by Ray Bradbury. Then we're going to zip up over to this shelf here. We've got Little Women, which I know I must have purchased this for resale because I have no intentions of ever reading that. Gustave Flaubert, Madame Bovary. I think I have a number of copies of that. It's something I want to read, just haven't gotten to it yet. Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, translated by Burton Raphael. I have really, really into King Arthur stories and Tales of Excalibur and all that. The Story of King Arthur and His Knights by Howard Pyle. Of course, I just explained why I have the previous book as mentioned. Simon Clark's Stranger, Dragonlance, Heroes Volume 1, Flesh Eaters by Joe McKinney. Then we'll come back down to here. We have some random comics. I'm not going to show you guys those. How to Raise a Drug-Free Kid. I don't know why I have that. I'm assuming one of my in-laws probably gave me that. Francis Bacon, I do have some art books. Cobain Unseen, this is a really interesting. It mainly focuses on his artwork, and he was an amazing artist, and he could have went either way. He could have been an amazing musician, or he could have been an amazing artist. Artist's Manual, this is about different techniques and different styles of artwork, introduction to drawing the nude. It's about figure drawing and different mediums and stuff like that. Another computer textbook from college, Build It, Fix It, Own It. And the Oxford Illustrated History of the British Monarchy, because I'm kind of interested in history and regarding to that. And then we're going to move over to here real quick. My Poppy Z Bright books, I only have 2 of them. I should get a copy of Lost Souls because I absolutely loved that when I was a teenager. Wormwood, Drawing Blood. Then we got some Lumley, The House of Doors. The Worst Case Scenario Survival Handbook for Dating and Sex. Charles L. Grant in A Dark Dream. Venus and on the Half Shell by Kilgore Trout. Now, Kilgore Trout is the pen name for Kurt Vonnegut, so that's why I purchased that. It's a first edition, and it's in very, very rough shape. Sliding down, we're going to see, we've got See No Evil by Patricia Wallace, Robert Dunbar, The Pines, Legends. This is a bunch of novellas by different authors. Stephen King's got one in there. Hotter Blood, another vampire pinnacle horror book. Stephen King's Insomnia. Stephen King's Gerald's Game. Look Me in the Eye, which is My Life with Asperger's. Someone to Share My Nightmares, stories by Sonora Taylor. I probably should have read that a long time ago, but I have not read it yet. This is another arc that another author had sent me. Room by Emma Donoghue, that's something I've been wanting to read for a very long time. Slaughterhouse 5, I've read that. I'm probably just going to keep that copy because I used to buy copies of it and resell it. And then this book is something I bought for resell, and I don't even know what it is, but you know, it's there. Maybe we should work our way up on this side. We've got Way of the Wizards. That's like it's an illustration book. It's got pictures, like fantasy drawings. The Your Body, a User's Guide. That was something I was selling. Kurt Vonnegut, Timequake. I might read that pretty soon, actually. I was thinking about it. David Brin, Glory Season. I've only read The Postman by him, but I really enjoyed it. So I was like, you know what, maybe I should check out his other sci-fi. Laurel K. Hamilton. What is this book? It is Flirt. Okay, yeah. Hardcover. I think that might be a part of her. Yes, it's a vampire hunter novel. I picked that up on a whim because I do like vampires, and I was like, I've never read anything by her. Another couple of Harry Turtledoves. Then we'll move up to this shelf. We've got Glamorama by Bret Easton Ellis. Below by Kev Harrison. Lamb Wolves. The Saga of Deadeye, Book 1, Vampire, Zombies, and Mojo Man. Matthew Lyons, A Black and Endless Sky. Really enjoyed that. Bentley Little, The Haunted. Really enjoyed that. Oh, that's that journal. Okay, by Jen Bernardini's journal. I can't remember the name of it. The Demonologist by Andrew Piper. The Siren and the Spectre by Jonathan Jans. Devil's Mistress. David Barkley. Dead in the Water, Savage Island, Farallon Island, Copus and Break, Brooklyn, Those Who Came Before. Another Matt Lyons. I really enjoyed this one, The Night Will Find Us. Darcy Coates, I have not read anything by her. David Sedaris, The Best of Me. I really love David Sedaris' writing if you're into comedic kind of biographies. Yeah, he's really funny. He's had some really amusing situations in his life. The Hunger by Elma Katsu, have not read yet. The First 15 Lives of Harry August. Helping Kids Cope, I think that was something I had bought to resell. Gathering Blue by Lois Lowry, that is a signed first edition. It's something I'm trying to sell. I don't know if maybe I should have like the full set for that to sell. I don't know. Maybe people buy it on its own. Naked by David Sedaris. I have read that. Matrix Healing. I'm assuming I purchased that up just to resell. Napalm and Silly Putty by George Carlin. I read that. That was decent. This Boy's Life by Tobias Wolff. I saw the film and I saw that it was a book and I was like, maybe I'll buy that and read it someday. And then The Bye Bye Man. This was it's titled something else, but that's the book that The Bye Bye Man is based on. And then we're gonna zip over to here real quick. Tuck Everlasting. Saw the film, have not read the book. Douglas Adams, this is one of the books in that series. I have not read any of them yet. Lolita, I have read that, and this is an early edition that I was trying to resell. H.G. Wells' A Time Machine, I have read that. Classic Stories by Ray Bradbury, I think I read that one. Along the Path of Torment by Chandler Morrison, I have not read anything by him yet, but I got that arc. Number of Brian Lumley books. Robert E. Howard's Cull, which I read and reviewed a long time ago. And then we've got some Age of Conan. I got those, they were wrapped in plastic for some reason. Harry Turtledove. The Circle. Dying to Live. If you're into zombie fiction, that was a decent series. Nostradamus. Who Were the Celts? Like a little more history. Native Fear by C.F. Page. I remember this guy was asking for people to read and review his, I think it was a debut, and he was really kind of new, and I was like, you know what, I think I should give this guy a shot because he might have a good book. And he sent me this book, and the cover, like, it's an arc, but like he said it was a plain stock image cover, like he didn't have a cover plan for some reason right then and there, and that's the way it came. And it's kind of weird the way it is inside too, so it's definitely an arc. Harry Turtledove, another Harry Turtledove. Michael Moorcock, one of my friends who collects comics, he thought I might enjoy that, so he gave me a copy of that. And then another Age of Conan. Madame Bovary, yet another copy. 1916 by Morgan Llewellyn, which has to do with Ireland. White Witch, Black Curse, another Vampire Hunter book. Mind Warpers, that's an old 60s sci-fi book that I happened to see at a library book sale, and I picked it up on a whim. James Herbert, I've read Rats and The Fog by him. This one's based on fairy tales, I guess. Some more Harry Turtledoves. Anne Rice, Geek Love. Everybody's raved about this book. I have yet to read it. Survivor by Chuck Palahniuk. Something else I have not read yet. I've only read a few Palahniuks. Oh, I read the one, was it Haunted, maybe? It's about the girl, the teen girl who dies, and yeah, it was interesting, weird, strange, kind of funny. It's kind of hilarious, some of the scenes, but in a like bad kind of humor, probably shouldn't laugh at. More Brian Lumley. The Ruins by Scott Smith. I should have read this when they read it as a buddy read on Brad Proctor's channel, but I did not. I was reading other stuff at the time. Death School. 13 Bullets by David Wellington. This is a really, really, really good vampire series. One of my favorites. I did not save all the books, and I probably should have. I think I sold them after I read each one. There's like so many books in that series, but it was a really, really good series, and I should probably recollect them because I enjoyed it. And he's not as prevalent. Like, you don't. It's kind of hard to find his books. David Barkley, The Maker's Box. That was an arc I should probably read and review real soon. Cujo. I really did not want this paperback version. I've read this 2 times, but it was one that happened to be available, so I picked it up. John Bernardini's Mirror in the Attic. I should probably read that soon. William Phelps. This is true crime stuff. I listened to a number of his podcasts. I've read a couple of his books. Really enjoyed them. Our ancestors came from outer space. It's kind of weird, like, aliens or God kind of thing. Woman in Love by D.H. Lawrence. I loved his Lady Chatterley's Lover. Really good kind of smut right there. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Lois Duncan, I have not read that yet. Written Blood. Lullaby. And then let's come up here. We got Simon Clarke's Blood Crazy. Hard Sell, Clive Barker. It's a collection of short stories by different horror authors. All the Pretty Horses. See, I told you I have another copy of that. Pay It Forward. I think I bought that because my wife is really into that movie. She really likes that movie, and I was hoping she'd get back into reading if I bought the book, but I might end up reading it myself. Stephen King's The Dark Tower Gunslinger. Dark Miracle, Zebra Horror, Razored Saddles. I did not know it's called cowpunk horror. I didn't know that they used to make horror westerns back in the day. So when I saw that, I was like, I gotta get that because I thought it was a new thing. Jean All, I don't know how to say her name, but the Clan of the Cave Bear books. I have a few of them. I have intentions of reading that series, but I have not. Edward Lee, I have never read him, but I've heard many good things about him. And then another vampire book, Sex Lives of Cannibals. It sounded kind of interesting at the time. Cormac, McCarthy, Blood Meridian. Irvin Welsh's Train Spotting. I'm thinking about making a section of my shelves that's going to be Scottish authors, and I should probably compile those all together. A Canticle for Leibowitz, classic. I have not read it yet. Heart Strange and Dreadful by Tim McGregor. Antioch by Jessica Leonard. These are two books I should probably read really soon. Digest, 10 short stories. Evan Whitmer. I remember that guy kept sending me messages saying he wanted me to read and review his book. And it wasn't a first book, but it was like one in a series. And I was like, are you sure I don't have to read the first one? And he's like, yeah, dude, you can just read this one. And I have not read it yet. John Irving, A Prayer for Owen Meany. I really enjoyed his World According to Garp. Vox, that's kind of like along the lines of Handmaid's Tale, but I have not read it yet. Hellfighters by Bill Richardson. I have not read that yet. Don't Push the Button by John Skip. Stephen King Revival. Coffin Shadows. Matters Most Macabre by Tyler James. And Chapel Street by Sean Paul Murphy. So yeah, these are just the shelves that are on my back porch. Yeah, that's basically about it. I don't know what else to tell you guys about that, but I have other shelves. I have a bookshelf on my front porch, and I have a big, huge monster bookshelf in my studio where I film my videos at, and that one would be really awkward to do, but I think I can do it. I just got to do it, and I eventually want to restructure all these shelves and put stuff together that belongs together, but we'll have to see if we got time for that kind of stuff. Questions, comments, I don't know. I always feel funny about doing these kind of blog videos about like bookshelves because it's me talking to myself, and I can't really interact with you guys. Better if it was a live kind of thing, but it is what it is. And if you see any books you think are interesting, comment below. Let me know if you've read some of these, which I should read sooner rather than later. You know the drill. You know the drill is, let's do this.